This video is about two-stage dividend discount model. So we have a company and all given information are in red here. So we have retention ratio. At the end of year 1 is 60%, at the end of year 2 40%, at the end of year 3 20%, at the end of year 4 20%. We would like to calculate our dividend payout ratio. We know that retention ratio plus dividend payout ratio is equal to 1. Therefore, our dividend payout ratio will be 1 minus retention ratio. And then from this little box we will drag. So this will be our dividend payout ratio. Then we have our return on investment is constant every year at 15%. Then we would like to calculate our earnings growth rate. So in order to get our earnings growth rate, this will be our retention ratio from the previous period multiplied by our return on investment of this period. Please make sure that there is one period difference. So all the time we'll choose retention ratio of the previous period and we will use ROI of this period. And from here we will drag. Then we have the earnings per share. At the end of year 1 is $5. This was given. So what will be the earning per share at the end of year 2? So we will take the earnings per share at the end of year 1, which is 5, multiplied by open bracket, it choose 1 plus our earnings growth rate, close bracket. And then from this little box, we will drag. Then we would like to calculate our dividends per share. So our dividends per share is equal to earnings per share multiplied by our dividend payout ratio. And from this little box, we will drag. So we know that these dividends will continue every year forever, and it will grow by the end of year 4 by 3%, and it will continue every year increasing by 3% indefinitely. Therefore, what will be our terminal value? So I know that here, the dividend in year 3 is 4.622, and the growth rate will be 3%, and this will be our long-run growth rate or perpetual growth rate. Therefore, since it will continue every year forever and it will increase by the same percentage, so our terminal value will be the present value of growing perpetuity. And please remember, every time we get the present value of growing perpetuity, it will be one period before our cash flow. So here, this cash flow will start at the end of year 3. So its terminal value, its present value will be 1 year before, which means at the end of year 2. So let's say equal here. This will be our dividend divided by, open bracket, it choose our discount rate, which is given in the question 10%, minus our perpetual growth rate, close bracket. So this will be our terminal value, the present value of growing perpetuity. Then we need to get the present value of our dividends per share. Why? Our target is to reach the implied share price. So the implied share price is the present value of all future cash flow. So in year 1, we'll say equal. Our dividends per share is 2 divided by open bracket. Write 1 plus, which is our discount rate 10%. Put the dollar sign, close bracket, to the power, year 1. And then I will drag it here for year 2. Then I need to get the present value of our terminal value. I will say equal 66.023 divided by open bracket 1 plus 10%, which is our discount rate, close bracket, to the power 2. Then what will be our implied share price? Get the present value for all future dividends. We already get here the present value of our dividend per share and the present value of terminal value. So let's say here our implied share price is equivalent to the sum and highlight it here. So this will be our implied share price, which is 59.085.